Welcome back, everybody, to the second video in the 10-part modding tutorial video series for Life by You. In this video, we're going to make a custom piece of furniture for our world. I am Willem. I'm one of the game designers on the team, and I will be your guide through the use of the editing menus of Life by You. These 10 videos will come in 3 parts. The first part, which is what we're in right now, is decoration and personalization. Next, we'll do lot and world design, and we'll finish up with custom gameplay. We're building these videos because we think all of you are going to be able to build beautiful, wonderful things once you get your hands on these tools. And just a reminder, all of this may change, especially as we add updates and upgrades to the game. Just watch the description down below for any updated videos. All right, let's get started. Now, just like before, we're going to go ahead and click on the Create button to get to the Create menu, where we have all of our editor tools available to us. Most of the things that you build in Life by You are going to require more than one editor. For instance, if I wanted to add something that I could find in a trove in the world, I would first make that item in the item editor, then I would add it to a trove in the trove editor, then I would actually place it in the world using the region editor. So I would use 3 editors for that one simple goal. To make it even more simple for you to understand with your first use of a multi-editor edit, we're going to build a custom piece of furniture using 2 editors here. We're going to start in the model editor, then we're going to jump over to the object editor next. Also, just like before, we're going to have to make a new mod to actually edit our game with. This is nice and simple. We just hit the plus button in the top of the screen to make a new mod, and then we can go ahead and name that mod anything we want. I am, once again, going to make this model, this mod, available to you for download once it's live. So go ahead and search for Willem's Stupendously Super Sofa, which might give you a hint into what I'm going to make here, to try out this mod for yourself and maybe make fun of me or perhaps give me loving encouragement. All right. Now remember that once we have multiple mods, we're going to be able to click between them and actually see what is edited in each mod. So we can see that in one mod, my original mod here, I just made some clothing. There's 3 edited items in the clothing editor. And in the built-in mod, we've got all these crazy number of things that the Tectonic team built for you. And just make sure, the biggest thing here, just make sure you have the correct mod selected once you jump into any of your editor windows, because that is the mod that the changes will get saved to. So I'm going to make sure that I have Willem's Stupendously Super Sofa, or whatever you want to name your beautiful mod, selected, and then I'm going to click into the model editor. So this is the model editor. If you're unfamiliar with the term model, it basically just means a 3D model or a 3D object that is essentially the visuals or the art of eventually an object we can place in the world with actual functionality. For the more advanced features here, it's worth noting, like swapping out textures and colliders, we're going to need to do that inside of Unity itself, which we're going to cover later. But right now, there's all kinds of things we can do just inside of the model editor. You'll see there's all kinds of different models, including just like this AC unit or hanging plants, and of course, all kinds of different pieces of furniture. So what I want you to do is pick a piece of furniture that you like, and then we're going to duplicate that. I once again have one prepared ahead of time that I think is going to be a lot of fun, which is this leather sofa object. Once I have an object that I really like, I can click on it. And then instead of overriding it like last time, colors on models are not saved to presets. So we're going to need to duplicate this object if we want to have our own custom color for it, which is super easy. All we got to do is select the object and then hit this little button that looks like 2 pieces of paper in the top right of the screen, or the top right of this menu. And that will actually duplicate this and give us our own custom object that we can edit, our own custom model, I should say, that we can edit from this one. Now, when we rename this thing, we want to make sure that it matches conventions that exist right now. I can click into the current mods to see just the things that are in this mod in case you get lost. But then I can also go to all mods to see the other objects that are similar to this one. And that'll help us make sure that we're matching naming conventions. So I'm going to go ahead and name this sofa something that makes sense. I'll just keep all of the prefix and change it to add funky at the end there, because I have a pretty particular idea of what I'm going to do to this sofa. All right, now that we have a unique copy of this sofa, we can change anything over here on the right-hand side of the screen, including tags there, or the icon that the object uses, or of course, colors once again. Now, all models have at least one color that you can edit, but many of them have multiple. So right here, we can see that there are 3 different colors we can edit, including the leather itself, that single yellow pillow, and those 2 blue pillows. I have a vision here of what I'm gonna make, and I bet you can't guess it. Yes, I'm gonna go full purple again. I'm a big purple fan, and also that looks pretty rad actually. All right, I got to decide what I do to the pillows here. I'm thinking, oh, you know what? If I do white and black, that'll match what I have in the custom outfit. So there we go. This is our custom couch with the white and black colors, same as the outfit from the first video. I'm kind of loving it. It actually looks pretty all right. All right. So once we finish playing around with the colors and any of the other settings in the model editor here, we are ready to use this to make a custom object that we can actually use in our game and share with other players. So all we do now is hit save and quit, and then we'll head over to the object editor. So here in the object editor, we're actually going to make our custom object. Now, an object in Life by You is just anything that can exist in the world, such as a piece of furniture or a filing cabinet or foliage or anything like that. This is different from an item, which is something that only exists in your inventory, such as a food ingredient or something similar. Now, unlike before, where I edited an existing piece of clothing, and unlike before, where I duplicated an existing model, I'm actually going to make an entirely new object. And I can do that by hitting the plus button towards the top of the object menu there. And we'll see that it makes a blank object for us. We have to start by renaming this blank object. So I'm going to go check what the name is of that sofa that we duplicated so that I can try to match the naming conventions. That's always good because it's just easier to find later for you and for anybody else who might use your mod. So I'm going to click on my current mod to find that object that I started, and I'm going to name it something similar to the other object I duplicated, P prop leather sofa. And then, of course, I'll add my funky moniker there at the end. I actually can't quite recall if I had a space in that other name. It looks like we did. Okay, so we're going to add a space back in there. There you go. All right, so now that we have our object named, we can add a display name, which is the name the player actually sees. But before then, we're going to attach the sofa funky model, and there we go. We now have the custom model that we created for this object. Before we actually use this thing, though, we have to set up a couple other things. So like I said, we can add the actual display name, which is what the player will see in the game. I'm going to call this a funky sofa. We can add a cost, which is how much this thing will cost. This will get overridden by the progression, which I'll mention quickly here, but we may do more in another video. We can add rarity. This is, of course, a rare sofa. We can add a level, which is mostly back-end. This works on some stuff that you might not understand yet. I'll just slap it a level 3 there. And then description, I'll call this, this sofa be funky, why not? That's perfect. All right, now we've got 2 more main things to add before this is ready to add to the world. The first is the progression, and then the second is this interaction scripts. We're going to talk about interactions more another day, but let's at least hook these up. So if I click on progression, progressions effectively are like lists of objects. It's just like a category almost. So there's all kinds of categories we could add to, but we want to make sure every object we create is in a progression. That helps us find it in the game. It helps the any players that download your mod use it. In this case, there is actually a sofa progression, but you can see there's all kinds of stuff in here. This is a little bit more advanced. You can ignore this if you want, but I can actually click and see the progressions by clicking the progression tab in the top of the screen. And the progression tab lets us look at all of the progressions and which objects are in those progressions. Like I said, these are mainly just lists, but they allow some other functionality. For instance, these will actually override the costs if the appropriate settings are set. So we can see that depending on the level of the sofa, the price is actually set for us by the progression right here. But that's something you don't really need to worry about. Basically, just anytime you make an object, make sure your object has a progression. That's really all you need to worry about. All right. Then in our interaction scripts, like I said, we're going to get much more advanced with interactions another day. Effectively, this is what your character is allowed to do to this object. And there's a bunch of scripts already existing for you. What I recommend you do to start is just find an object that is similar to what you're trying to make and just copy every interaction script that it has. So in this case, our leather sofa is sittable. Our character can sit on it. It is relaxing. Our character can relax on it. And it has a clean functionality, which basically makes it so it gets dirty over time, and then we can clean it. So I'm going to search for my sittable, and it was the stationary version. And then, oh yeah, my clean first, and then I'm going to search for my relaxing, right? And there we go. So once we have those three interaction scripts, we can actually interact with this object. And then the last thing we're going to do is add tags down here. Now, tags change a decent amount of stuff about our object. They're used for some functionality. They're also used for different menus, so we know which rooms we can find this in, for instance. I would recommend the same thing for you to start out. Just find an object that has the similar functionality to what you want, and then just copy whatever tags it has down there. And then you can start playing with tags as you get a little bit more comfortable. So I'm just going to copy over these 4 tags that the leather sofa has. And once I've copied all 4, we are now ready to go. So this object has now been totally set up. As long as it has a model, a display name, a progression, and it actually doesn't need any interaction scripts, but that will of course mean we can't do anything to it. But this is now totally ready to go, so we can save and close, and then go and load it into our world. So to see our custom furniture in action, we're going to go ahead and hit New Game again. And remember that we can load the game. Any mods that we add to the game will be accessible in a loaded game. But I'm just going to jump through straight in by making a new game. I'm going to make sure my character has a female body type again because I am going to wear the outfit from video 1. Full continuity here. As soon as the world is loaded up, I'm gonna walk on over to the dresser over there and change my outfit to the outfit from video 1. Let me do that right now. All right, and now that I am just looking gorgeous, we are ready to add our custom sofa to the world. Now we can do that simply by opening up the home editor, which is this hammer icon in the bottom left of the screen. And if we open this up and then click on objects, our sofa is actually already added to this list. We could find it through our different room options, but we can also just search for the name. In this case, it was that funky sofa. And here it is, ready for us to actually add to the world. We didn't need to do anything else. We just created the object and it is available. So I could place this on the edges here somewhere. I'm thinking, you know what? Let's actually just let's delete this couch. It's had its time. We don't need it anymore. We have something more beautiful. All right, and there we go. That is all it takes. Let's edit the exit the home editor here. That's all it takes for us to have a custom, beautiful, funky couch in our world, ready for us to use and relax on. Now, before we go any further, I want to show you one more powerful editing tool here. We can place this thing via the home editor like we were playing regularly, but also I want to show you a tool that you can use as you become a more advanced modder in Life by You, and that is the Live Edit tool. So the Live Edit tool can be accessed as of the time of recording this video simply by hitting F4. It is an incredibly powerful tool and gives us access to a lot, but if we click on the Objects tab of the editor menu, we'll see that we can actually literally place this sofa or any other object just straight out of the editor menu, and it doesn't need to be in the home like the home editor. I can just stick it over here overlooking the lake if I wanted to. And this is just a lot of fun, but also a really powerful way for us to test because we can quickly add stuff to our world. And not only can I do that, but I can literally edit this object while the game is still running. So I can go and find my funky sofa here. And then if I wanted to, I can make changes to it. So I could, for instance, rename this thing to, I don't know, something new. Perfect. There we go. And our sofa is ready to be changed and added to the world once again. So that is that. This is the live editor menu, like I said, and there is all kinds of stuff we can do with it. But that is a quick intro on how you can use it yourself. So that means we have come to the end of the video. You now have a custom piece of furniture, and if you followed the last video, you have a beautiful custom outfit to match it with. Look at how good I look here. Yes, beautiful. So I want to prompt everybody one more time. If you are following along with the game once this is live, I want to remind you that we have all kinds of mod support for you if you're having any kind of trouble. We have the Discord section, we have a wiki with videos and more, and of course, we're going to have an FAQ as well. Now I have a design challenge just like for the first video. I would like you to design an entire room. Choose a living room or a bedroom or an office, something that sounds exciting to you, and then draw in the furniture you're imagining into that room just on a piece of paper or on an editing software of your choice, and color that furniture in a way that excites you. And then once you get your hands on the game, I want you to take that design and actually make a mod for it so that you can bring this to life in your own game. All right, this has been so much fun. I love doing these mod videos. There's 8 more coming. In the next one, we're going to talk about a custom character and a custom outfit for that character, an outfit being a little bit different than the clothing that we added in the first video. And then after that, we're going to move on to lots and regions, which are really exciting. All right, leave in the comments down below if you enjoyed and anything else you might like to see. And I hope you're having fun following this mod tutorial video series. We'll see you again soon. Goodbye, everybody. This has been Willem Delventhal.